In this video, I want to give you, again, a very brief look at what happens when you click on the ALEKS Math tab. So remember, in your Do Math area of every week, it's just telling you go here to do your math. So the first time you click on this, actually, yeah, let me go ahead. The first time you click on this, it's going to have you go through a setup process. What I'm going to do is, let's see, have you used ALEKS before? So you're going to go through the setup process here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the student view and go in to show you what this basically looks like. And then I'm going to choose the student view inside of here. Let's see, where can I do that? Student view. Okay, so this is my teacher view, but you will see something like this when you get into ALEKS. And it's a very easy setup. And then you will see something like this. And it's going to go through some tips. I'm going to skip through a lot of things because it allows me to skip these things. Being the instructor, you will have to go through them. I'm just giving you a very brief overview of what this is going to look like. So your first thing you're going to have is a tools tutorial so that you will learn how to use all of the tools in ALEKS. And again, I'm allowed to skip through this a little bit, but you are not. You don't have this option. So you'll have to do these things. It just goes through, do you know how to type this in? How can you use the undo button? Practice making a fraction, etc. Type a 2, so I'm, okay. And on. It's going to teach you how to graph, how to make exponents, how to use parentheses. And so you're going to go through and do that. For the sake of time in this video, I'm not going to do the whole thing. You will do the whole thing. So here's where it's teaching you how to use the graphing tool. Okay, I'm going to skip through this. And once you get it completed, it's going to let you complete, and that unlocks your initial knowledge check. So we don't let you take that initial knowledge check until we know you know how to use the program. Now, this is what you're going to do. You're going to do this initial knowledge check. I cannot reiterate how important this is. Please, when you sit down to do this, be very focused. Give yourself at least an hour. I don't think that it takes that long. I really don't. But give yourself at least an hour of totally quiet, undivided attention. This sets your path for the entire semester. Do not try to do this when things are loud or things are going on and when you're not really focused and ready to go. How about your pencil, paper, calculator, all that stuff? It's going to remind you of that in here as well. Like, remember, stay focused, don't be distracted. This is basically like a placement test. And remember, the more you get filled in right now on this initial knowledge check, the less you'll have to do each week. I don't expect you're in this class for a reason. There are obviously topics in this class that you need to learn, and that's what this is for. But if you miss things here that you actually know just because you're distracted, you're going to end up doing more work, okay, in the course. So I'm going to go through here. Okay, get started. And again, this is what you're going to see. It reminds you that there's going to be a calculator available if you need it, and to only say you don't know if you literally have zero idea of what to do. Otherwise, make your best guess, okay? And maybe it will be able to diagnose that you know something about this topic. You're going to start it. It's going to randomly start you with a question from the class to try. So have your paper and pencil out, do your work for this problem, and enter in your final answer. I'm kind of skipping through this. I'm just going to type in something random. Do not do that, okay? That is a bad example for you. Actually work it out and type something in. Again, this is just for the sake of the video. I'm going to submit this. And in the background, what ALEKS is doing is it's right then, in that moment, was saying, you either got this right or you got this wrong. Where am I going to send you next? I'm either going to send you to maybe a slightly harder question, or I'm going to send you to a slightly easier question. And this is how ALEKS is diagnosing what is it that you do know coming into the course and what is it that you don't know. So I know this one very easily. Okay, and then you're going to answer all of these. You're going to answer as many questions as it gives you. Again, I would say an hour max, probably less than that, probably 30 minutes-ish. Okay, so you're going to do all of those problems to the very, very best of your ability. If you don't have this option, I'm going to randomly pick that I'm a student coming into this course with, let's say, moderate knowledge. Okay, you will get a pie that is created when you get finished with that. And what it shows you is topics that you pretty much have mastered already. So I know these topics. Again, this is just a random example. Some topics I don't know very much of, and whatever this is, I don't know at all. This is going to be, some of these over here are going to be what the majority of my semester is based on. But these topics right here, what's great is that the weeks that these are the topics that we're learning, I'm not going to have very much to do at all. Okay. So now ALEKS has put us on a path. It knows what we're working on this week. These are the specific things we're working on this week. If these happen to be some of these that I know a lot about, then I'm likely going to have very little to do. If whatever the week's work is something that I don't know very well, then I'm going to have more topics to work on this week. It says you can click now on Start My Path, and ALEKS is going to take you to the topic of the week. This is what we're learning this week. And it's going to give me the appropriate number of questions basically to fill in that slice of the pie. It gives you an explanation. Notice it doesn't give me a calculator, so I'm supposed to be able to do these without a calculator, but it does provide video help, a link to the book, a dictionary, and message center, and the option to print. So it runs through how to do this problem and gives the final answer. And then it throws you a problem similar to this. How it works, how the system sort of works is as you get the problems right, you fill in this bar. If you get problems right in a row, you get extra points. So maybe for the first question right, I only get this bar filled in. But if I get the second question right, it fills in both of these bars. And if I get the third one in a row right, I'm done. And it checks off that topic for me. However, let's say I get the first one right, the second one right, so I'm up to here, and then I get the third one wrong. It's going to drop me back down, and it's going to give me an explanation, and then maybe make me do a couple more before I actually master it. Okay, so basically what the program's doing is really making sure that you understand it. You have to be able to get multiple correct in a row to rule out the idea that you just accidentally guessed it correctly and things like that. But you'll see how that works when you get in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and also notice here there are some help buttons, and right up here you can get to the textbook and some other things as well. So you'll see how this works, but this is basically what the area looks like. I'll show you maybe what it looks like to get one correct. So let's see, 36 over 6. Actually, this one is going to just come out to just the number 6. So I'll show you what that looks like. So notice how it moved my progress up. And again, it'll move you up or down, whether you get them right or wrong. And if you are getting them incorrect, it will give you some help for that. Or you can also choose help to avoid getting them wrong, right? If you want to make sure you're going to get it right, then use these things before you get started.